Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Quick Break Games, and welcome to the Exploring LEGO Hub World series, where we check out the hub worlds in the different LEGO games. And this time we're doing 2016's LEGO Marvel The Avengers. This is based on the MCU movies. And this game actually has quite a few different hub worlds here. So we're starting off here on the SHIELD helicarrier here in Manhattan. And you might recognize this from LEGO Marvel Superheroes. This is very similar. The main difference here is that the time of day has been changed. In Marvel Superheroes, it's more like just regular daytime, like in the afternoon or something like that. And now it's kind of at sunset. So that is the time of day change. But we're here on the helicarrier, and we can head inside just like we can in Marvel Superheroes. So let's go ahead and do that. And you'll find that it's pretty similar to how it was in that game. So they, with Avengers, they definitely reused a lot of areas from a lot of the stuff that they already had made for Marvel, but hey, it works for the MCU adaptation here as well. So over here on the left side, there's this hallway, which again looks very similar to how it did in the first Marvel Superheroes game, because really in that game they were taking a lot from the MCU at the time, even though that game wasn't really directly based on the MCU. This room over here to the right is definitely different, so they have changed out Deadpool's room because Deadpool's not in this game, and you have this kind of laboratory looking room here, and if you go through this portal you have kind of your extras room. So here you type in your cheat codes. I believe here is where you purchase your red bricks, and then over here is kind of like the level selector, so you can easily go through each level. You can also do that from the world map, which I'll show a little bit later. So this is the collector's room. This is all different. That kind of replaces Deadpool's room for Marvel Superheroes. And then back here is pretty much very similar to how it was in Marvel 1. So you got this area, then you can walk over here. The puzzles and stuff are obviously completely different. And then over here is your character creator. So yes, the character creator does return in this game. So that is everything on this side. So now we're going to make our way over to the right side. The flying, I feel like, is much faster in this game compared to how it was in Marvel 1. Alright, let's head over here to the right side. It doesn't let you fly in this room for some reason. So in this control room here, I believe it was like right in here, I want to say, wasn't it? This is where like the main control terminal was, and you could like select your level. Let's see, is this where you do it here? Did they move it just slightly over here to the right? What did that just do? I don't know, I haven't played this in a while, so I don't really know what's going on. It's activating something here. Some sort of terminal. Let's see what this does, because I honestly don't remember. This might be like for a little collectible or something. Right, left, right. Alright, light. Whoops, dude, I literally just hit left first. Wow. Alright, right, left, right. Alright. Right, left, right. Let's not be stupid this time. Okay, yeah, that was just for a collectible. Well, that was a waste of time. But over here on the right side, there you can go into the hangar area. And this looks pretty much exactly like it did in Marvel 1, so nothing much to show here. So I'll meet you guys back up on top of the helicarrier. Alright, we're back up top on the SHIELD helicarrier, and now we're going to jump down into Manhattan. Let's see, is there no dive board? Oh, there still is one over here. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see how epic this is compared to Marvel 1, because I honestly don't remember. Whoa! It's way more like horizontal this time. You're not like diving straight down, you're kind of diving outwards a little bit more. It definitely feels more assisted, like they're controlling where you're falling a little bit more. Like the pathway that you're falling is definitely more linear. Maybe not, I don't know, it's been a while. I'd have to like play them back to back, I feel like, to really compare. Yeah, it kind of forces you to land. It doesn't, I don't remember it doing that in Marvel 1. But yes, now here we are in Manhattan. So again, a lot of this is just straight up reused from LEGO Marvel 1, which is alright. So we got the Statue of Liberty over there. Again, everything's just at sunset time, and you also don't have a map this time. You just have like a little radar in the bottom left corner that kind of shows you where different points of interest are. And so all references to like Fantastic Four, stuff like the Baxter Building, anything referencing the X-Men has all been removed in this version, because they no longer had the rights to that for this game. Here is Avengers Tower, which has been changed to more align with the first Avengers movie. Actually, I guess it aligns more with Age of Ultron, right? But pretty much the same thing. So you got this little platform here, which looks a little different than how it did in Marvel 1. And then, of course, you had the X-Men mansion on the other side, so I do want to go over there and kind of show off what that looks like now that they can't reference the X-Men. Here is Central Park. The Baxter building was like over here. Was it this building right here in Marvel 1? Now it's just like a generic looking building. So they've swapped that out. Central Park, I think, is mostly the same. And again, obviously all the puzzles have been redone. A lot of these buildings are exactly the same as they were in Marvel 1. You got that parking garage structure there. Scrapyard. Moving over here to this little, it's like the south or north side of the city, I can't remember. And here, where X Mansion used to be, it has now been removed. It's called the Inwood area. You've got this kind of big facility over here. Is this supposed to be the facility? Yeah, this is Avengers facility, so this is like from Ant-Man. Ant-Man was like a pretty new MCU movie at the time when this game came out. But yeah, that is pretty much the map of Manhattan. Very, very similar to Marvel 1. Again, mostly reused. Most of the work, I feel like they just had to remove all the X-Men and Fantastic Four references and replace it with MCU stuff. So this used to be the Roxxon building, right? The Raft prison, or maybe it was the Raft in that game, in the first game. I can't remember. I thought it was like Roxxon something. Who knows? I can't remember. I get my Marvel buildings confused. But yeah, this is Manhattan, but this isn't the only hub world in this game. I will see you guys at the outer space map where we can view a lot of the other locations in this game. Alright, so we've pulled up the open world map here, and so we have a bunch of different locations. So all of these things with flags are different open world hubs that you can explore, and all of the ones with like regular character icons, those are the different levels in this game. So we've just explored Manhattan. You can see there's 140 gold bricks there, a bunch of content. That's obviously the biggest area in the game. If we head south here, we got this American flag, and we can head to Washington, D.C. Why is Washington... Oh, never mind. It's pointing to it, I see. I was going to say, why is Washington, D.C. way down like where Florida is almost? That doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's pointing to where it is. Alright, I'll see you guys in Washington, D.C. And look at this really cool transition. So it's like you're in the clouds, and then it just seamlessly, you just fall down into the hub world, which is pretty cool. So all of these hubs outside of Manhattan are pretty small, but you know, they all have their little bit of content to do. So here you can go all the way down here to the Lincoln Memorial, which is pretty cool. Let's see what Lincoln looks like in Lego form. Wow, they just made him like a generic minifigure. They didn't even make him look like Abe Lincoln. I wonder if there was like some legal issue with that. I have no idea. They definitely made him look pretty generic. Come on, TT Games. Gotta put Lincoln in there. Give him some respect. Then we got the Washington Monument here. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this hub. But again, there's lots of little side missions and characters to unlock. Also, you can call in vehicles. Forgot to mention that. So let's go ahead and head back up into space and move on to the next hub. Alright, here we are. So obviously this game kind of came out shortly after Avengers Age of Ultron. That was like the latest big game at the time. Well, there's a dinosaur on Barton's farm. I do not remember that one. But obviously this was a kind of a major location in Avengers Age of Ultron, so they wanted to adapt it here in the game. And it's a pretty big farm. There's races you can do, different side quests, characters to unlock, all that good stuff. You got the barn here where Tony Stark and Samuel Jackson were. Tony Stark and Samuel Jackson. Tony Stark and Nick Fury. You can go in there. Let me see. Can you actually go inside of his house? I honestly don't remember. Let's see if we can do that. I don't think you can, but we're gonna try. Yeah, you definitely can't, because I'm looking in there. It's not actually laid out. So yeah, that's just the farm. So now we're gonna move on to the next location. I will meet you there. Alright, so now we're at the Shield base. It's another little hub world in this game. I don't really remember this one. It's been a while again since I've played a lot of these games when we're going through this exploring hub series. This Shield base I really don't remember at all, but I did 100% everything, so I guess I did all this. But yeah, this is another hub in this game. This is kind of based on the beginning of the first Avengers movie, I believe. And yeah, there's not too much to see here, but I did just want to quickly show this one off. Next up, we're going to head to Malibu, Tony Stark's house. Let's go. Alright, so we have just arrived into Malibu. So here we've got Tony Stark's little beach right off of his house. We have a weak Lego object wall there that we can destroy with a big fig or strong character. And up here you can kind of see his front lawn here. Pathway up to his house. He's got a little helipad there. and we can actually head into his house. So a lot of this is based off of Iron Man 3, because that was kind of the latest Iron Man movie. I guess it still is the latest Iron Man movie now, isn't it? At the time of this recording, unless Iron Man 4 has come out in the distant future after this video. But I kind of doubt that's going to happen anytime soon, but who knows, I guess given enough time, it could happen. But let's head down here. You can head down to his little basement where he, you know, makes the Iron Man suits and all that sort of thing. So all the Iron Man suits would be in those different chambers. Again, lots of different puzzles and things you can do down here. So let's head back up top. I think that's pretty much it for this area. I do want to look at the main room of his house just a little bit, because you saw that quite a bit in Iron Man 3. Here we are. Got side quests and stuff. Interesting how the side quests are still available even after 100% completing the game. And we can head back outside, and there's lots of different things to do out in the yard and on the beach and on the roof. There's a race and everything like that. So yeah, this is Malibu. So we have just arrived to Thor's home country of Asgard. Country? Realm? Whatever you want to call it. So here we spawn in at the Bifrost, which is kind of cool. It doesn't have the cloud animation, but here is the Rainbow Bridge. They have definitely shortened this down for this hub world. It's not as long as it is in the movies, I feel like. Because in the movie, there's like a huge gap, like where the Rainbow Bridge is basically just like over the ocean. Whereas in this game, the Rainbow Bridge is kind of like going through the actual Asgardian land here. This isn't too big of a hub world, but it is pretty cool. Based off of Thor: The Dark World. That was the latest movie at the time. Let's see if we can head inside here. You can actually see Odin's throne here in the middle. And it's surprising, like, I know they were able to just reuse Manhattan for the most part from LEGO Marvel Superheroes, so they didn't have to do too much work there other than changing the time of day and changing the locations that referenced X-Men and Fantastic Four. But it is pretty cool how they are able to build so many different of these smaller hub worlds in addition to Manhattan. Like, this game just has so much content, man. It's insane. Alright, but on to the next one. Alright, we have just landed in South Africa. You might be wondering, why is South Africa a hub world in LEGO Marvel's Avengers? Well, it was a location in Avengers Age of Ultron. If you remember, this is where the Avengers initially encountered Scarlet Witch, and they all got mind-controlled, and they fought Ultron there for a little bit. So yeah, this is South Africa, and this is also where Hulk kind of went berserk and rampaged that city. I guess that was supposed to be a city somewhere in South Africa. I guess I never really thought about where that took place. I'm not sure what city that was supposed to be. Someone in the comments can let me know. But if they ever said it in the movie, I don't know. We have a giant Stark Industries ad in South Africa, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, this is just kind of the area. Kind of an odd location to base one of the hub worlds in the game, to be honest. You know, I guess it was kind of a significant scene in Age of Ultron, but I mean, this kind of outside area wasn't really seen all that much in the movie, so the fact that they based an entire hub world around this was definitely interesting. But I guess, you know, Age of Ultron was the big new movie. They wanted to heavily adapt that into this game. But let's move on to the last and final hub world in this game. Alright, so we have just landed on Sokovia, the end location of Avengers Age of Ultron. They had to adapt this into the game. This is a pretty significant area, and it kind of is referenced a lot in the MCU movies afterwards too, because the destruction of Sokovia kind of has to deal with the events of Captain America Civil War and Infinity War, Endgame, all that good stuff. So this is a pretty pivotal location in the MCU, so it makes sense that they adapted it here in the game. And yeah, it's not too big, but it kind of adapts all the significant locations that you saw in Age of Ultron. So it's kind of just like a little city block here. So this is kind of the end. This is the whole city is being kind of levitated by Ultron. And you can just kind of go around here. You got this street. It's just kind of one big square pretty much. You can head around here, and then this loops back around to the beginning. So yeah, not too big, but pretty good-sized little hub world here of Sokovia. But yeah, guys, that is all of the hubs here in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. So you got Manhattan as the main hub. You got the SHIELD helicarrier returning as well. And you got all these different smaller hub worlds as well to make a really pretty massive game here for LEGO Marvel's Avengers. A lot of people seem to not like this one as much as Marvel Superheroes 1. I can understand that if you're a fan of, you know, the Fantastic Four and X-Men, but outside of those omissions, I feel like this game is pretty much better in every way. It's definitely got more hub world content, and it's got a lot of cool MCU characters and things like that. So yeah, let me know what you think about the hub worlds here in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you guys next time here on Quick Break Games.